Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Yo! Oh my God!
Yo.
That was the craziest knockout. Yo!
It's Yo MMA Rap with Louis J. Gomez and Dave Smith.
All right, here we are, Yo MMA Rap. I think we should keep the whole Main Street thing and up top.
Maybe. Probably not.
Why not? Whatever, dude. Don't tell me. I'm in a bad mood today, kids.
You're always in a bad mood.
I'm not always in a bad mood. I've been in good moods lately and now in a bad mood.
You're even a good mood for you is a bad mood for most people.
I have my knee is blowing up.
It's famous. I had a hit on Spotify. Everyone's listening to it.
Look, it did Rogan a few times. Then here we are.
That really is the path.
My knee is fucked up and it's making me very depressed. I'm not eating right. I feel like I'm getting fatter, putting on weight. I haven't been able to work out in a month.
Ah, geez. You're gonna Jason Ellis up.
Dude, I'm in trouble here. I'm in actual trouble here. I got to go in the morning to go get an X-ray.
Okay.
Are you going to pull a Dillashaw?
Dude,
Ooh, yeah.
in the fight.
Yeah, just talk shit the whole time, and then the first takedown was like, ah.
Dude, I'm really, it's putting me in a bad mood. And it's not like I'm I'm Mr. Physical Fitness, Mr. Healthy Man. That's not who I am. It's fine.
No, you're Mrs. Physical Fitness.
No,
Mrs.
that's not true.
Man.
I'm not. It's really hot. It's really hot in this room.
Oh my God.
I don't know why it's so hot. I got to take my shirt, my hoodie off, dude. It's crazy.
Wait, is this all a big like WWE reveal? I thought you were going off. My knee's fine.
So I'm like congested and stuffy. What are you talking, Vic?
No, and you were talking about me last week, and I had COVID. I've been out for like a whole week with COVID.
Well, I'm glad you're doing better, Vic.
I appreciate it. Thanks for not talking crap about me and defending me, Dave. Not like the other guy.
Did Dave defend you? I don't even know what I said. What I say?
Always defending Vic.
You were running down. You said the rundown sucked, and you're like, "Where's Vic? He's never here."
The rundown wasn't great last week.
It was fine. I included some of it in this one.
Oh, okay. I should pull that up. I have not taken a look at it yet.
You guys spent 45 minutes the whole time talking about just Jake Paul and Anderson Silva.
So, Vic, why don't we make this a state of the podcast address? What would you change about the podcast if you were us?
Number one, I wish you had hair, but I can't change that. And
we're
going to go over hypotheticals.
It counts. It counts. Constructive.
You can change that. I can technically get plugs.
Yes. Okay.
I don't want to talk about what we could change. I would like you guys to put out the reels when I send them to you, and when Tanner sends them to you. But
I'm getting a person to take over my social media.
It's me. It's going to be even worse. No one's going to put out reels.
just straight up libertarian stuff on Lewis's whole thing. I like it.
Coop, why don't you run my social media, Coop?
Lewis is becoming more and more libertarian. The more money he makes, the more libertarian he's getting.
That's not true. Don't cast your libertarian shadow on me.
I'm not
a libertarian.
I saw. Oh, he's getting pulled. I saw today. He tweeted some shit. He's like, I don't even vote, man. Feels like a scam. I think the whole thing's a ripoff.
No, libertarians want you to vote for them.
Nah, that's the most libertarian shit ever to say.
Oh, it's some steal this book.
Huh?
Like Gabby Hoffman. Steal this book, steal this album.
Yeah, Dave doesn't get any references except for his own horse.
Wait, who said that? Did Ron Paul say it? If not, then I don't know. If it wasn't him, then I really don't know what you're talking about. But the point is,
Dave's only smart in a very specific lane.
Oh, dude, I am so narrowly focused. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
My only dedication to this podcast is to the sport of MMA and combat sports and MC Skat Kat, who I believe we should bring up more after that last episode.
We should play more of his music. I know he had other music, by the way.
He was an MC, for God's sake.
Yeah, he had to have other songs. Can we get an MC Skat Kat B-side, Coop?
We're gonna have to find one.
Or some deep
or some deep cut Paula Abdul for Dave.
Yeah, I could go for that.
B-side. Would he have an album? Okay, hold on. B-side album.
I'm not even seeing any MC Skat Kat on spot. Oh, MC Skat Kat and the Stray Mob.
Oh, hey.
See? Not only was he a cat, he overcame so much to accomplish what he did. This is why the Victor haters out there on the blogosphere, they don't like me. But hey, Dave,
Yes,
maybe
sir.
we should inject MMA back into the podcast.
With so much charisma, got more moves than a mutant ninja.
Well, that is.
And I'm doing a scat strut to hell with John Travolta and the disco
Oh, dude, he's fucking battling other cartoon characters. He's scratching the Ninja Turtles.
That's awesome.
Dog, yeah, I swear to God, if I fight Jason Ellis in April, if I can do it, I'm
Wait,
coming
if.
after MC Skat Kat.
It's an if now.
It's an if now, dude.
Wow, that's how bad the knee is.
Denise, I can't even walk, much less train. If I can't train, I can't fight Jason Ellis. Jason Ellis, well, if I went in right now, I would lose to Jason Ellis. I have to be in impeccable shape. I have to be fucking really like hyper focused. So if I can't go and train for the next few months, it ain't happening. And that's just the truth. And I'm not gonna fucking go and just take a paycheck to lose a fight. That's retarded. That's not what I do. I'm not a fighter.
You're not going to disrespect the sport.
Well, no, it's just I'm not a fighter. There's no reason to go and possibly really legitimately hurt myself.
I 100% agree with you.
Like I believe that I can beat Jason Ellis. I believe on my best day I can beat Jason Ellis. I genuinely do. It's not going to be on my best day. I can't even fucking walk.
I wonder how
no,
Rocky
that's fair.
4 would have turned out if they had that same
If that was that attitude.
We would have lost to Russia. Talk about freedom, Dave. We would have lost our freedom, man.
There'd be no movie. If he's like, yeah, dude, you know what? I can't.
I don't know, Mick. I mean, my knee's blowing up. Probably have to just pull out. That's just the end of the movie. I'm gonna pull out. Maybe we'll reschedule.
Apollo Creed just dies and nothing else happens. They just go to the funeral. He's just home miserable.
He goes, no, I mean that really sucks about Apollo, but my knees blowing
Adrian's
up.
like, you can't win. He's like, you know what? I think you're right.
They get
You know what?
divorced 2 years later.
You make a good point, Adrian.
Oh man, when you say it like that, yeah, this guy's tough. Oh shit. It's Rocky with a really whack ending.
Oh, I'm just a man, you know.
That's true. I mean, you still got that pet store, right? We'll be okay.
You know, it's not about how hard you can take a hit. It's about what the orthopedic surgeon says. And if he says, hey, it ain't a good idea, it ain't a good idea.
Balboa was such a good movie.
Yeah.
The most underrated Rocky movie.
It was
Great.
great.
Except for the sixth one.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
But that's the problem. Is like that's Jason Ellis's story. I'm not going to be the bad guy in Jason Ellis's Balboa story for his final
that's right.
50-year-old retirement fight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're doing a spin-off where Drago's going to be the hero, the protagonist. Why don't you just absorb it, man? Be the bad guy.
Yeah, I never really appreciated how much of a bummer that movie was to like someone living in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Like they were watching it and they were like, yes, we have this killer fucking up Americans. And then at the end he loses and the crowd turns on him in Russia.
Yeah.
Damn Russian oligarchs. Stay out of our elections.
Don't worry, Vic. They are. It's all propaganda. Election day.
By the way, this is our election day special episode, folks.
That's
It's the midterm elections.
That's right. You nailed it, Lewis.
First time in my life
I'm
I've
already
ever
impressed.
Said it like that, and I meant it. Midterm elections, senators and clerks
Yep.
are being
It's a lot of clerks up this
elected to
year.
office. Cardinals, they're coming up with
Clerks
a new
3.
A couple Cardinals. There's a couple Cardinals in the mix.
There's
I don't
gonna
know,
be-
Andy. I know nothing. Who are people voting for? Is that a libertarian philosophy to say I'm not voting? Because I'm very much like It's literally. I posted a meme of people playing 3-card Monty. Doesn't it feel like that when you go up to a voting booth? Doesn't it feel like there's a guy going pick a card, any card, and you're just going like, oh yeah, cool. I'm about to just hand over my shit right now, and with an illusion of me being able to win.
I think that the idea of government all being a rigged game is a very libertarian thing to believe.
With all that said, there's been a big difference between the last 2 years versus the years before, and a lot of that has had to hinder on your votes. So
I don't know what
you
you're
go.
saying, but that sounds like immigrant talk, if you ask me.
I don't even know if I agree with Vic on that. How much the difference over the last few years has hindered on your vote. I mean, some people just kind of got lucky. Like if you happen to be like in Florida or South Dakota or some shit like that, then you had a governor who didn't do any of the COVID shit, sure. But if you were in New York or New Jersey, it's not like it mattered how we fucking voted. The same shit would have happened.
You know what
You
I
know
say?
what you know. Go ahead.
I say no dogs allowed.
What are we waiting for? I can't hear anything.
I was
What
really
is it?
expecting something to come in there.
I don't know. There's nothing.
Lewis is bobbing his head. Okay.
Do you not hear that music?
And you were bobbing your head way before we heard anything.
It was hilarious, actually. I thought he was just hard selling it.
Yeah, Lewis goes.
Get into the song, DJ Skat Kat. Why is there so much buildup?
Lewis, can I just tell you? Hold on. Turn it off for a second.
I mean, at one point, are you going to let us know you're a cat and you're against dogs? I mean, now it could be any dude rapping this.
Can I just I don't know, you were saying we're not hearing the music. I just want you to know this is what the rest of us just experienced. You went, well, let me tell you what Skat Kat has to say about that. Just nothing. Nothing was happening.
By the way,
And I mean this, we are 43 seconds into the song. We're two different fucking verses into the song. He doesn't even mention being a cat. And
You'd think it would come up.
The song is called No Dogs Allowed.
I think it's pretty much out there.
Wait, was that the guy who did the Humpty Dump song?
No, I think that guy was a respected rapper.
No, he kind of was. But what's his name again? The fucking
The Humpty Dance guy.
Yeah, the Humpty Dance guy. Fucking
do the hump.
Damn it.
Do my baby. I do the hump, the hump. Wasn't he like a legit like rapper that people like were like?
Tupac was down with him.
Sean P?
No. Guys, you have the internet at your fucking fingertips, and you can just look it up.
I just looked it up.
Shock J. Yes, that's the correct
that's
answer.
right.
Yes,
That's it.
Shock
You're right.
J.
You're right. That's what I
It
said.
sounded, that guy's voice sounded a lot like Shock J.
What can I say, Coop? You said it like you knew it.
Yeah, I had to come in with all confidence. I had it up on
You
the.
did. He came in like. We're gonna continue to play. We're gonna continue to play MC Skat Kat tracks throughout the whole show. My favorite ones.
No, I've indulged
Loud.
too much into this. I think people should vote on our Yo MMA polls, and I think we should talk about MMA.
On
Let's
the
do a
prowl.
little. Let's mix it up and talk a little bit of MMA.
You sure you don't want to listen to I Ain't No Kitty?
We will. I do, but let's do some MMA first.
All right. The Adventures of MC Skat Kat.
Did you? Can I ask you? Can I ask you, Lewis? Did you watch the card last week?
Yes, obviously.
Can I ask you to honestly tell me if you watched the card last week?
I did, dude.
Okay. What'd you think?
Fucking Vienna Cookies defeated Meerskat.
Lewis, I'm starting to think you didn't watch the fights.
And Chuck Magny defeated
Neil Magny.
Charlie Kubera.
Broke a big record, by the way.
What was the record that Neil Magny broke?
He passed George St. Pierre for wins in that
In the
division.
welterweight division.
Yep.
Okay, interesting. I did not watch the main event.
You just watched the
Yeah,
undercard?
Well, I watched two fights in the event. I watched Neil Magny. I don't know. I'm interested to watch a Neil Magny fight, and he was fighting like a tough young prospect. And I watched what's his name, Vic? Mark Madsen. Is that his name?
Yeah, that was a big upset, I think.
That was
in
a
my mind.
huge upset. Really interesting fight. So I don't know, Lewis, if have you been paying attention to that dude, Mark Madsen, at all? This guy was an Olympic wrestler,
Yeah.
and he was undefeated in MMA. He was a lot of hype behind this
Then
guy.
he fought our boy.
And he fought our boy. Very good fight, but he beat him.
He beat him. Oh, yeah.
This fight not only did he lose, he got wrestle fucked for most of the fight. It was pretty incredible to watch a dude who is a big underdog wrestle fuck an Olympic wrestler. That was interesting. And not just wrestle fuck. I mean, he fucked him up in the stand-up too after, but first he just kind of like took him down over and over again and like took his back for a while. Really good fight. Neil Magny fight was a really good fight. Neil Magny did a great job. I enjoyed both of those fights very much. Did not check out the main event. I know I'm a dick and people can say whatever they want, but when there's women who I don't know or care about, I find it very hard to get motivated to watch the fight. I've been moving this week. I've had a lot of shit going on.
In order for me to want to watch a female fight, it would have to be like, it would have my mother. They'd be like, your mother's alive. She's fighting in the UFC this weekend. It's like, no way.
And you're like, and then you're still one friend coming to you with a cooler thing to do away from watching.
Dude, I can go see my mother, who I thought has been dead for the past 20 years. I can see her fight in the UFC this weekend.
She goes, oh man, Dave just invited me out for snow cones.
You can't pass up on a good snow cone.
Or I have this half a blunt clip that we can go smoke in a stairwell somewhere.
By the way, here's the thing I don't understand about these cards. I think this is the third card where she's either been the main event or the co-main event. Why are they pushing Amanda Lemos down our throats?
I don't know. I don't think I don't understand why when there are these fight night, or are they still calling them fight nights, these non pay-per-view, events, that they're putting these unknown women as the main event on it. If you want to sneak them in as the co-main event so we end up watching it, like, sure, but it's just like I feel like it really kills the motivation for people to want to watch the fucking fight.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what the numbers look like. I'm sure they do the research. They want people to watch, right? I think just sometimes they don't really
know
care.
They know better than me, I guess.
But there also is this thing where, and the UFC is sort of guilty of it, even though Dana White is like a fucking straight up right winger, that Trump supporter, like he's like, they do have a little bit of a woke thing within the UFC's infrastructure. They are trying to push that. I'll tell you, this is how successful wokeism and political correctness is that even like the hardest right-wing mainstream position is to just have a little bit of it. Yeah, you gotta have it.
You're like, no one doesn't have it at all. Everyone has it.
Everyone puts out their own rainbow flag every June. Like they all do it. They're all guilty of it.
They're all playing the game. They're all like, to some degree, we have to. Everybody thinks about diversity.
And we've talked about this before.
Lineups.
It's because the reality is,
why do you think I do a show with a Puerto Rican? That's how much it's seeped into everyone's mindset.
Nobody really gives a shit. The whole go woke, go broke concept is kind of bullshit.
Oh, it's such bullshit. By the way, can I tell you that saying infuriates me, because I also think it's like
Dave has become so right wing that he hates rhyming.
Yeah. No, but I think that it's like, if you are actually opposed to like the insanity of wokeness, it's like, it doesn't help us any to just lie to ourselves to make us feel better, and to be like, oh, you like, when there's one example of like wokeism costing someone money, they're like, see, go woke, get broke, blah, and you're like, yeah, I know. Wokeness leads to everyone going broke. That's why every major corporation is woke. They seem to be making some money. So I don't know what you're saying here. I see all of the richest like companies and people all gobbling this shit up. It doesn't seem clear to me that this is failing in the marketplace. Like,
it's not. It's because people that are on the right, they're not going to not watch the UFC because they put out a fucking rainbow flag. They're going to roll their eyes at it and go like, all right, whatever.
Yep.
That's as far as it goes.
This is why the left wins.
Yeah. They do have the left, they're better at like caring about what they care about.
They're better at like making their politics their life.
Yes.
They're better at saying
it's their identity, right? So yes, exactly. So when it's your identity, you can't lose. It feels very personal to lose that battle. Whereas I think people on the right, it's not, or not on the right, but it's sort of like people that are center and center right, and like just sort of like not in the world of like, this is like my identity. They don't give a shit. None of that fucking matters. But people that are on the left, they really fucking care. It's really their identity, and protesting and canceling is a part of it. Like, if that's your identity, you're like, oh no, I have to go to a protest. I have to cancel the company. I have to boycott companies that are supporting Trump and supporting people on the right. So yeah, that's genuinely effective.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's if you have a lot of the people who are against the crazy left-wing shit, they've got jobs and families and all that shit. They just can't be bothered.
Yeah.
So anyway, UFC card. None of us watched it.
This has been a political podcast today.
Well, it's not
very
political,
much so.
dude. It's been DJ.
It's
Skat
election
Kat,
day.
and
It's election day, Vic. We can.
if
we can
DJ
sprinkle a
Skat
little-
Kat was running, I would vote for him.
You know what? That's what
What's,
this
what's
country
his platform? I'm open to it.
needs. A lot of scatting. And-
It's a cat that shits everywhere.
no, isn't that the like when you're ba 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 ba?
Doop 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 doop.
Exactly.
I had to imagine it's a shitting cat. He's just fucking.
But by the way, we did hit the highlights. I mean, Lemos won against Marina Rodriguez. Magny set the record, beat Daniel Rodriguez, which was kind of an upset too. And
If your name is Rodriguez, you got
Madsen.
fucked.
yeah, it's
Magny,
true.
how old is Neil Magny? He's got to be getting up there, no?
I think he's in his mid-30s. Let me look it up right here.
And then now I can't exercise, and I've just been eating like a fat fuck for the past.
Did you just went back into that like we were talking about it the
Yeah,
whole
dude.
time? Like you just wow, all right.
By the way, just looked it up. Magny's 35.
Only 35. Okay, I'm sorry. He has a face like a 70-year-old.
Coop, you don't have to tell
Uh,
us. You don't have to be honest and say you just looked it up. You can just say he's 35
Just
now.
come in with the facts.
Yeah,
But I'll
it's fine.
say he looked very good in this fight. I mean, Neil Magny has kind of been one of those guys for a while now who's like hanging out, you know what I mean, in that division. Really, really tough, but not, like nobody's going, oh, this guy's gonna fucking like make a run and be the champion soon. But I gotta say, I enjoy watching Neil Magny fight. A real interesting fighting style. He's long as shit. He's good everywhere. Really good in the clinch. Really good. I enjoy watching him fight.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't.
Really.
I had no fucking interest in it. I didn't give a shit. I'm not going to pretend to give a fuck about this
I'm
card.
not
This card was
pretending.
another horseshit card that they
I'm
threw
not saying
at
it
us.
was a good card. I'm not pretending. I enjoy watching Neil Magny fight.
It was such a bad card that I didn't even know it was happening.
Well, I did watch it after the fact.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that there was no marketing behind it, there was no push, there was no energy, no excitement. There's a massive card coming up this weekend, and that's sort of where everyone's focused on. So maybe it's not even their fault. The reality is they have this huge card at Madison Square Garden. It's like, what are they going to do right before it? They can't really waste all their bangers. Everyone wants to get on that Madison Square Garden card.
I also think what happened. I also think what happened is it was supposed to be Bryce Mitchell versus Evelev, but then something happened with that, and that was supposed to be. The
Oh, that's a
main
big
event.
fight, though.
Yeah, and then they just replaced it with Lemos versus Rodriguez.
Even I'll tell you, dude, even like look, maybe I'm being really a dick here, but even the card this coming up this weekend, unbelievable card. It's like the fact that Carla Esperanza versus Zhang Willi, whatever, is the co-main event. Didn't I say that?
You said Esperanza, which is the name of my aunt.
Yeah, you
It's
just
Esparza.
Esperanza. I think it means hope. I believe.
I think
It's
so. Yeah.
Esparza versus Zhang
Esparza
Weili.
versus like you're like, okay, that's the co-main event of the card. And then the fight right before that is Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
And it's like, it just creates this thing where it's like, oh my God, I'm so excited to see this fight. And then it's like, okay, time for a bathroom break. And then we come back for the main event that I'm so excited to say. I don't know. What am I supposed to pretend that this is even anywhere near the level of the excitement for Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler?
Yeah.
These two like fucking warrior gods of MMA. And then it's like Carla Esperanza, who fucking landed, no, I'm doing it on purpose now, landed 2 jabs to win her fucking title. And I'm the dick for just saying that I don't care.
You're disrespecting the Cookie Monster.
Is that her name?
That is her fight name.
Her fight name is the Cookie Monster.
You're dealing with women, dude. They have fucking tiny brains. They just don't know any better.
Tiny brains and tiny fists.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a championship fight. I understand why they do it.
No, I understand too, but then before that, Frankie Edgar The legend Frankie Edgar is fighting right before that, and then Dan Hooker versus Pules, a really good fucking fight.
Yeah,
Starting it off.
I mean, look, I'm very, very interested in seeing Izzy fight. I'm not a fan of Israel Adesanya. I haven't been really ever.
See, I think Izzy's getting a lot of fucking heat. I think a little bit unfairly for having a couple fights that were not exciting. And especially because he's coming off one that's not exciting. Izzy's had a lot of very exciting fights in the UFC, dude. Some really incredible fights.
He's an incredible fighter. He's one of the most talented fighters in the world. But it's not even that. It's not even about him coasting. Whatever his thing is, just kind of bugs me.
Love that. Can I tell you why I do kind of love Izzy and what I thought? The way he caught Rogan's back when Rogan was going through all that shit was really fucking cool. I really fucking respected that. I thought that was awesome. There are things about him that are have rubbed me the wrong way a few times. But I gotta say, I don't know why. As the fight comes closer and closer, I'm finding myself really rooting for him. And I hope he fucking defends his title.
Well, I'll be rooting for Alex Pereira. But to be honest with you, I don't know.
People always stick together.
I don't know if Pereira is going to be able to do that. I think, look, Israel Adesanya, I know that he's got the wins over him, but you're talking about a guy who's been on the top of the world for a long time. It's a different sport. It's I can't really even take the data from the earlier fight and put it to that good a use, right? And also, I think they fought twice, right?
Mm-hmm.
They fought twice, and I think one time it was like a back and forth, like crazy fight.
From what I've heard, I haven't watched the full fight, but I've heard people say Izzy was winning the fight and then got knocked out.
Yeah, and then another one was a decision. I think a close decision.
Yes, but I guess the thing is that this was kind of at the beginning of Pereira's career, and then he went on to become like the best fucking kickboxer in the world. So what people are saying is that this is like just in the kickboxing, an even tougher fight for Izzy than those fights were. And you could make an argument that, like, look, is Israel Adesanya's offensive wrestling going to be a factor in this fight? Probably not. No. They're going to stand in front of each other and they're going to kickbox.
It's a kickboxing match with MMA gloves, which is awesome, right? Izzy is also going to come into it as being a much different fighter and being, and look, Pereira, I don't know. I have no idea what his financial gains have been over the past few years, but it's not what Israel Adesanya
that is
had,
for
right?
Sure. That is
and
for sure.
I don't feel like, I think when the guys who have championship mindset, once they start making cash, it's not like in comedy where somebody becomes less funny. It's like, no, when these guys are on top of the world and they can afford the best, nutritionists, the best training partners, the best facilities, they can fly in the best sparring partners in the world.
They can hire doctors, joke writers, Lewis, to write jokes for them.
Literally, Izzy can afford to become a better comedian than either one of us within a year with ease.
You just have to pay one better comedian.
That's it, dude.
For all their material.
Yeah.
No, I think you're right about that. And that is the big thing. It's kind of an X factor. It's kind of hard to describe, but you see this happen a lot in MMA where once a guy becomes champion, something just kind of takes them to the next level.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times. I've seen this over and over again, even when it's a big upset and people will be like, oh, that guy shouldn't really be the champion. I think about TJ Dillashaw. I don't know if people remember this. It was a huge upset when he beat Renan Barão. That was like everyone thought he was going to get fucked up by him, and he beat him, and then he just destroyed him in the rematch. Volkanovski is a good example of this, where people thought Max Holloway won the fight, then comes back and fucking smokes him.
Looks better and better, yeah.
And there's lots of examples like this where
it's also by the time you get your title shot, by the time you're fighting and defending your title, now you've got 4 or 5 round fights underneath your belt. You're fighting the number 1, number 2, number 3 guys, just the absolute killers, best of the best.
Also
have to elevate yourself to a certain level. And Pereira, whereas I know that he's been fighting the best kickboxers in the world, it is just a different thing in the UFC. It's a different sport.
Well, look, it's also worth pointing out that the UFC is so much bigger than kickboxing. I just mean in terms of the spectacle of it. It is such a bigger thing. kickboxing is a tiny, irrelevant sport. Now, I'm not saying it should be that way. Kickboxers are incredible athletes and all that, and like it's a really cool sport. But there is something to be said for the fact that Izzy has been in the biggest stage over and over again. You know, like you might, for an example, like in comedy, there might be some guy that we know who's like a real beast of a comic, really, really talented guy. And then, you know, some other, like some hack who's famous, who just sucks. Like, isn't that good of a comic, but is huge, is fucking famous. Or even whatever, even if they don't suck and they're actually like really
You're describing the fighter and the kid. Go ahead.
Yes. No. But
I'm kidding.
taking,
I kid. We're joking.
Not at all. They're both incredible.
I mean,
but well, I'm just saying, like, my point is that
we have to stop. We can't say they're both incredible. That's a crazy thing to say.
They're both men, incredible fathers, people. There's something like, if you were a comic who the funniest club comic you know, and then the shittiest arena comic you know, if they both had to play an arena tomorrow, the arena comic has a huge advantage over him.
Yeah.
Because it's not his first time in an arena. You know what I mean? And like, there is something about being Alex Pereira has never been in a fight this big in his entire life. And Izzy has been in several. Yeah. That is a huge advantage for him going in. So this is an really, really interesting fight.
I mean, look, if Izzy, I'd be very impressed if Izzy came out and fucking took him down and just used MMA in a smart way, dude. You're like, what, dude? He gets knee belly, he's ground and pounding him, takes his back, goes for submissions. You're like, oh shit, Izzy's fucking doing jujitsu now.
You know what would really be
it would be
sad?
Such an amazing moment.
What would be really sad is if Izzy comes out and tries to take him down and just gets stuffed and then gets fucked up. I mean, Alex Pereira had I know I'm constantly saying his name wrong, but he has a win by flying knee in the UFC already. Yeah. It's a risky game to try to take him down, especially if you're not like really a fucking wrestler or anything like that. It's we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, highly unlikely, but you know, it's a weird thing. It's like when strikers are known at striking, it's like the first guy to shoot. It's even though it's not true, even though like that shouldn't get in his head, I know for a fact it does get in their head. It's like, oh, you're gonna fucking shoot like a pussy, dude. Let's fight. Why are you shooting in? Why are you trying to get on top of me? Why are you trying to?
Well, it's like in their first fight when Conor shot on Nate Diaz, and it was almost like he might as well have tapped out.
Yeah.
You know, like once he shot, especially because Nate was such a better grappler than him, that it's just like, as soon as you're like, this was like a striking fight. That's what this was. And then as soon as you shot, it was like, oh, all right, dude. Like for you to say, I don't want the stand up anymore, I'll take the ground, is a real like, and this is true in general, like with a lot of these striker versus striker fights. But this is probably the purest striker versus striker fight in the history of the UFC.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could think of one that is more like, this is truly just two elite level world champion kickboxers.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at like Max Holloway versus Conor when they fought.
This,
I mean,
not like this.
No,
and also, by the way, you know, Conor took Holloway down a bunch in that fight, actually. But this is different. This is like, I would
lose no respect for Israel Adesanya if he came out and mixed it up. And
I think it'd be smart.
Honestly, he probably fucking needs to be honest. If it's just a straight up kickboxing match, I think it might be at a disadvantage. But if he comes out and he is fucking feinting takedowns, and by the way, Izzy is such a high level athlete that I feel like if he's been working at, you know, wrestling and jujitsu and really being hyper focused on it, I'm sure he's getting fucking great at it. Right.
Here's the thing. I agree with you 100% on that. The thing is that we've never, and you don't know about this in MMA, right? And this is what's interesting. MMA is this weird sport. You know, there's sports like basketball where they go out and play every other day, or even a sport like football where they play every week, or baseball, they play every day, every other day. In MMA, you might fight once every 6 months, and you fight for 15 to 25 minutes. So we've never seen anything out of Israel Adesanya that says he can fight that way. But does that mean he can't? This motherfucker is training 6 hours a day during training camp, and probably at least 3 hours a day just in the non-training camp.
I mean, and you got to figure
what can he do? We really don't know.
If I'm
Maybe
Izzy's
he can.
team, I know I'm saying, yeah, dude, we watched what happened against Jan Blachowicz, and that can never happen again. There are guys at 185 pounds who are high level fucking wrestlers that are given the opportunity, if they can work their way up there, can do that to Izzy. So I know for a fact Izzy just has to be like, if you're Izzy and you're trying to be the greatest of all time and you're his team, this guy's working off his back, this guy's working his jiu-jitsu, this guy's working getting on top, reverses, sweeps.
Well, that's
he's got to work. He's got to work it all. And I couldn't imagine Israel Adesanya not getting exponentially better at grappling and jiu-jitsu every time. If he's going to, he's also cocky as fuck, dude. And that can be something that gets in your way as well. Because if he was smart, he would come in and mix it up. He would be looking for the takedown. He would get some takedowns. He would fucking, after
the other thing, and I think that's a good point. I agree with you. The other thing, just to add to that, is that there's we've seen defensive wrestling out of Izzy a lot. We haven't. It didn't work against Blachowicz. It did work against a lot of other guys. Even when it wasn't perfect, it worked enough to get him the win. We've never seen offensive wrestling out of him, but truthfully, there's never been a matchup where it made any sense.
Yeah,
for him to try to be an offensive wrestler, right? We don't know what he's got in that department. There's never been one matchup where he didn't have a clear stand-up advantage against who he was fighting. And it really wouldn't make sense for him to be taking those guys down. It just, there's no reason to. This is the first fight ever where you're like, as you said, it's not just that it makes sense to take him down, but it really makes sense to at least have the threat of taking him down, and at least
he has
trying
to
mix it up. So that'll be very interesting to see all of that. Because
by the way, that's why John Jones was so good at striking, was because he can just fucking at any given moment he could take you down. He can come at you with a fucking spinning back elbow. He'll fucking kick you in your kneecap. Then all of a sudden he's fucking doing Greco-Roman grappling with you. He's out, and then he's out wrestling guys that are on paper twice the wrestler that he is. Right?
GSP is the same way. Look, dude, if Conor McGregor and Habib boxed, Conor would light him up.
Mm-hmm.
But when they fought in MMA, Habib drops him with a huge overhand right, because Conor, and if you go back and actually watch like that slow-mo on the replay, Conor's hands drop to try to fucking stuff a shot. Yeah. And that's, it's like, that's the beautiful thing about MMA, is that there's all this shit that once someone's afraid of getting taken down, it changes everything. And look, this is even what your former friend turned foe. This is why Bisping got hit against GSP. Bisping's a much better striker than GSP. If they're just getting in a ring and kickboxing, Bisping will work GSP.
Well, also, it wasn't just the takedown. I mean, GSP admitted this afterwards. They targeted that side. They knew Bisping couldn't see out of his one eye.
The glass eye had something to do with it. But I was talking about even early in the fight, even before he caught him with that shot that dropped him, you could see Bisping's very concerned with not getting taken down. And then George St. Pierre is landing jabs.
And by the way, Bisping is the fucking dude. I think he was the hardest dude to take down in MMA. Or the hardest dude to keep down. I believe it was like a 100% getting up rate. He always got up. It was crazy.
I rewatched that fight recently, and I'll tell you, I really think until he got caught with that left hook that put him down, Bisping was doing great.
He did a great job. GSP said it was his toughest opponent, the toughest fight that he ever had.
GSP was gassing, and fucking Bisping was fresh.
Yeah, this shit was all fucking wild.
Let's watch the full 20 minutes of the fight right here.
No, we got it. We know what happened. Yeah, but I think it was more. I mean, GSP came out and specifically said, "Yeah, we targeted that eye. We knew."
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, hey,
he set him up. He set him up for that shot. So it wasn't just the takedown. But you're 100% right about that. He's got to mix it up in order to win this fight, and maybe he'll just be able to out kickbox him as well. Maybe he's come that far. But if I'm Izzy's team, I'm saying, dude, yeah, we're gonna mix it up. We're gonna get this guy down on his back. We're gonna make this guy question where the fuck he's at. We're gonna let him know that he's in a mixed martial arts fight, and that you are the UFC champion. This is your fucking K1 kickboxing titles literally don't mean shit here. And if he does that, he could win that fight. I'll be very, very impressed. And that will maybe win me over as a fan of Izzy. If he just comes down and outpoints him and fights a boring fight and gets the win.
That's Izzy. The thing about it is that Israel Adesanya, if you're his team, you go, you need to win this. You go, for those people like you, Lewis, and me, and a lot of fans who will go, oh, it was another boring fight. They can deal, this is a different Izzy fight. They can, you'll have another opportunity to be exciting in the future. You can do this again, what you did to Derek Brunson to someone else, but you got to win this fight. And the truth is that maybe being boring in this fight is his best path to victory. I just think that the flip side to what you're saying is that Israel Adesanya might just go, well, let me start kickboxing with this guy a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. But that's what Sean Strickland did. Sean Strickland said, I'm going to go out there and test his kickboxing. And then I think he kind of had in the back of his mind probably, hey, if I get in trouble, I have my other options to go to. And the problem with this dude is like, if he catches you with something, the fight's over.
I mean, and Sean's also just such a different. I mean, he just does not have the striking abilities.
No, you're right.
Israel has.
100%.
Even like we're talking about like night and day difference, completely different worlds of what they're able to do with striking.
Agreed.
So yeah, if here's the thing, it's going to probably be a pretty technical striking match, right? It'll probably be if I had to guess, Izzy's going to probably win a close decision. It's going to be a mainly kickboxing match, right? That would be what I say is boring. It won't be boring if he takes him down. Even if Izzy just gets on top and fucking lay and pray a little bit and just changes positions a little bit and mixes it up and keeps him guessing and just takes the fucking fight to him, that won't be boring. Dave, real quick, holiday season's coming up. This is the fucking gift that you're getting the man in your life. The Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, and there are other amazing products at manscaped.com. But the Lawnmower 4.0, it is the best below the belt groomer on the market. It's nearly impossible to nick yourself with this. I do it right in the shower. It's waterproof. So I shave down within like 45 seconds to a minute. I'm like, I'm in and out, baby boy. It is unbelievable how great this product is.
Yeah, I mow my lawn with it.
Yeah, dude.
It's that good.
I shave my girlfriend's eyebrows.
Anything you want to get
Dave's
shaved.
building his home studio with it. He's using it to saw wood.
It is taking longer than expected, but these walls have got no nicks in them. I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you right now, we are fucking around, but it legitimately is an incredible product that's extremely high quality. Manscaped, you probably see them being advertised all over in every television network, every TV show right now.
If you're taking like a razor blade or scissors or your beard trimmers to your dick and balls, you're fucking up in the game. This thing has a light on it so you can see what you're doing. You're not going to nick yourself. It's really worth it. It's gonna get you looking as good as you can look. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with our audience here. I'm not saying you're gonna look good. I'm saying you're gonna look as good as you can look when you get the Manscaped lawnmower.
And also they have the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which as I'm 40 years old now, I have these little nose hairs that start popping down. That's going ging, ging, in and out, baby boy. I'm doing the sound effects because people need, I'm bringing people there. Okay. It's a theater of the mind right now.
If you get the whole package, a team of Mexicans will show up and do it for you, but you never know when they're going to come. They say Monday, they might be there Wednesday.
They love whacking weeds, and you can whack your weeds as well with the amazing Manscaped products. They have a bunch of stuff as well, like, creams and gels and things that are to make your balls smell better. Go check out their incredible line of products. Go to manscaped.com, manscaped.com. And when you check out, use the promo code YOMMA to save 20% off your order plus free shipping. Once again, that is YOMMA at manscaped.com. All right, where were we? I want to move on because we only have a little bit of time left here. What is this suspicious betting story, Vic?
Yeah, apparently everybody was betting on that fight that and let me pull up my notes here on that. But everybody was betting on this undercard fight to end in the first round at a knockout, and there was like a huge surge on betting, so they ended up putting in these are the sports books. They put in a request for it to get investigated because when stuff happens like that, usually
a bunch of people started saying it was going to end in the first, so that means they're saying like one of these fighters might be trying to throw this fight,
right? And it was between Minner and Oh man, hold on.
Do we have a video of the stoppage?
Minner and Shailen.
And it did end up ending in the first round?
It did. He had a stoppage. Apparently, he hurt his knee, I believe.
Oh, that makes it even that much more shady. Can we find video of the stoppage?
We'll look it up right now. Coop, if you could. Yeah, Coop's finding it.
Coop, can we watch you look it up?
Coop.
I don't want to just see the video.
Here's
Coop. I want to know about the process.
On Google, looking up the whole process here. I actually wanted to do play-by-play of that whole thing. But it got to be like this little weird thing. It might not be anything, but the fact that so many people before were putting bets on this thing to end, and it was such
ends on an injury.
Right.
It does.
Now they were saying that it was people were putting a lot of bets on it to be a knockout. So maybe there's something fishy there. Maybe there's something.
It doesn't count as a knockout. The injury, is it a TKO?
You know what? I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
I look at it.
I think it was. Let me look and see what the official decision was on that. But yeah, it's just.
I got it here, fellas. Sorry about that. Hold on, let me see. It's a bunch of there's no YouTube footage on it. I have to go to streaming websites.
It's all right. So, what was the official decision on it, though? Was it a count as a knockout? Did the people that put this money down win all the money? Because there'd be no investigation, I guess, if they didn't. Nobody would really care.
Right. No. I'll tell you right now here.
I also got the video if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, go ahead. Play it while
let's see.
Why do you lie to us?
I know. I'm sorry it's being difficult. Hold on.
Sorry, you're being difficult, Coop.
Ooh, got him.
He's just a man with a computer.
I mean, well, I don't know what website you're on right now, but it's definitely destroying the gas digital computers. I'm watching viruses take over.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see.
Oh,
big knee. Damn.
Yeah, it's officially down as a KO TKO round 1.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah, it did look like he could have faked that.
Was that the moment? Was that the
No, he's what you saw. He goes.
That's the leg injury right there.
And then he tries to throw it again with the leg and then just gets fucked up.
So it could be nothing, but then it could be something.
It is
very
strange.
hard to say. Very hard to say with that.
By the way, I didn't look this up earlier, but I feel like this is worth mentioning because it's big news in that we've been covering it. But Cain Velasquez was granted bail at $1 million pending his trial. He faces 10 counts, including premeditated attempted murder. But
I mean, look, at least he got bail. Good for him.
That's better than nothing. But goddamn,
well,
he's got $100,000. At the very least, the MMA community would get behind him. I'm sure there'd be even a GoFundMe. There probably already is a GoFundMe to pay his law, which honestly, I would
contribute to that.
So would I. Usually I don't feel like rich people, like a former UFC champion. I was like, well, he could probably handle his own shit. But the reality is, it'll probably drain him financially defending himself.
Well, his legal fees and everything.
It's gonna be wild. Yeah. I mean, hopefully he can get off with temporary insanity. Time served, maybe a short amount of time after that.
Maybe. I mean,
no fucking judge in his right mind can convict this guy. He didn't kill the guy. He actually didn't kill the guy. What do you want me to say here?
The thing is that he's clearly guilty of some crimes, as fucked up as it is. And so a lot of these judges and prosecutors are going to follow the letter of the law, and they're going to be like, the prosecutors are going to be like, hey, if I can get a win, I can get a win. That's what I care about. The judge is going to be like, I'm bound by what the law says, and I can't just go, hey, I feel what this guy is doing. But you hope it at least ends.
They can,
up with
though. They do. They can. A judge. They're bound by the law, the interpretation of the law, and I feel like, I don't know. You'll get people that are charged for the same crime, same circumstances, and get two very, very different sentences based on what the judge is and the compassion that the judge has.
Well, there is usually some room where the judge has discretion, but there's only some room. It's not like that. So what you're hoping for is something where it's not going to be good for him no matter what, but you're hoping he gets a few years. and not like
Oh, I mean, look, I'm hoping that they
I'm hoping he gets off.
Temporary insanity is a real fucking thing.
Yes, it's very rare that defense works, but I hope I agree with you. I hope that works. I'm just saying more realistically, I'm just hoping he at least doesn't like fucking get some crazy, like fucking like 20 years or fucking life or some sentence like that. It'd be great. Like, I feel like I'm sure you feel the same way, Lewis. Like, if I was the judge, I feel like the reaction is supposed to be like, look, sir, as horrible as what happened to you is, there's still laws here, and you can't just go around chasing people and being a vigilante. And that's why I have to sentence you to 3 days in prison and 72 hours of community service, young man.
Listen to me, sir. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200 this week.
You just want to give. It's so like clearly he doesn't seem to be a threat to anyone else short of them molesting his family members. Yeah. So
wouldn't they consider like this guy is like he's an absolute like killer of a fighter? Like it's not like he's
could kill anyone.
He could actually go and fucking. He's not a guy who's using his fighting. I don't know if he's got like a violent past or any sort of criminal record.
I just don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. And with a guy like Cain Velasquez, you just go, every day that he interacts with other human beings, he's choosing not to kill them.
Yeah.
He could kill any of them.
At any given moment.
Anyone at the supermarket who goes to grab a cart when he was the next in line to grab the cart, he could kill that guy. And he doesn't.
It's
good. I'm glad at least he'll be getting out of jail and seeing his family before trial and shit like that.
I hope he plays the race card on this one. If it gets bad on his end, they should play the race card. This is a one time you should play the race card.
Sure. Whatever card you got.
Vic, what do we got here? Are you doing Vic's Triangle of Truth? I got to go very quickly. I got to wrap this up. I got to put my son to bed.
I don't think it's going to work out that well today, so let's just hold it till next week. But it's
next week. Anything else that we're missing? What else?
The triangle returns next week.
No, I think that's it. I just want you guys to know that I was really sick, and the doctor prescribed me these meds, and the instructions were take 3.
Take 3.
All together, like a triangle. and I got better. Well, I just want you to know that there's power in the triangle.
Real quick, live stuff coming up this weekend. I will be in Saratoga Springs with Zach and Miko. Then the Offend Everyone tour is back at it in Miami on the 18th and 19th. Special guest Kim Congdon, comedian. Then McHenry, Illinois. Washington, D.C. is coming up. Toronto is coming up. Lots of stuff. lewisofskanks.com. Subscribe to Gas Digital Network. Use the promo code YOMMA, and get a 7-day free trial, instant access to the on-demand library for all the shows here on the network. And Dave, what else you got?
November 25th, I'll be in Poughkeepsie, New York with Robin Fire Bernstein and BK Chris coming out with me as well. New Year's Eve show with this up-and-coming comedian, very talented, one Huis J. Gomez.
Hell yeah.
Me and him co-headlining at the Comedy Store. Colin Terrell, Zach Amico on that show with us as well.
Crack Amico as well, I invited.
Crack Amico coming out to the shows. Very cool. And then I got a bunch of stuff coming up in 2023. I'm going to be on the road like crazy, trying to justify buying this house. So, come see me. Dallas, Fort Worth, Philly, bunch of different shows coming up soon. So, looking forward to all that. Part of the Problem, big news coming. Big news about the future of Part of the Problem coming in the next couple weeks. And I'm real excited.
Love it, Davey Boy Smith. All right. Thank you very much, Vic. You're the man.
You guys are all great. Thank you.
Yo! Oh my God!